Hi YouTube, this is Allison with the Oh So Sensitive channel. So today I wanted to show you my collection of perfumes by Rihanna and let you know which ones are my favorite based on ranking, basically. My most favorite to my least favorite. So let me take them out of the box so you can see how the packaging looks, how each perfume looks, and I'll give you my thoughts on the perfume as well as sharing details with you in regards to the nose. Okay. So in last place we have Rogue Love by Rihanna. This is my least favorite of the collection, but not because of the smell. I really actually enjoy the smell. So the top notes in Rogue Love are mandarin, berry, and peach. The middle notes are jasmine, sambac, absolute, honeysuckle, coconut, and orchid. And the base notes are woods, amber, caramel, and vanilla. So based on that composition alone, this is a fragrance that I would normally love, and I do love this fragrance. It has the jasmine sambac absolute, which is a white floral. I love white florals. It has coconut. I love coconut. And it has the fruit notes at the top, and it has the wood and amber in the base, of course, with the vanilla. The vanilla makes it amazing too. I love fragrances, or tend to love fragrances that have a woody, ambery, vanilla base. My issue with this perfume is just that it doesn't last on me very long. It's a lovely fragrance. If I could get this to last on me a long time, that would make it the perfect, well, not the perfect, but a perfect fragrance for me, because it's hard for me to say any fragrance is the perfect fragrance, but this would make it a perfect fragrance for me if it lasted longer. So the reason it's in last place is just that it doesn't last that long. As far as the packaging goes, I really love the bottle. To me, it's very chic, very simple. I love the textured feeling of the cap. I saw one review where they said it reminded them of styrofoam. It doesn't remind me of styrofoam, but I get what they're saying. But for me, the way this is put together is still really nice. Even though I don't really like how it doesn't last that long, I still wish I had a bigger bottle just to match the size of my bottle of Rogue by Rihanna, which you can kind of see in the back. The other thing that I like is that with the box, I have the option of the box on one side being focused on Rihanna, the celebrity, or I can flip it and make it just more about the perfume. And it's kind of perfect for me that I have both options, because I love celebrity fragrances in that they offer you the chance to have a nice fragrance for a good price, but I don't necessarily always want the fragrance to be about the celebrity. I appreciate Rihanna's celebrity because I do trust her brand. I'm not just buying it because it's Rihanna and I like her as a music artist. I actually trust her branding when it comes to things like perfume, beauty. I feel like she really puts her all into it. She really takes her time with making sure a product reflects not only her, but the quality she wants associated with her brand. But I do like the option of the packaging and the box not being simply about Rihanna, the celebrity. It's more like the packaging is about Rihanna, the curator, Rihanna, the owner, or the leader of this brand. This next perfume is Rogue by Rihanna. It is the pillar as far as the Rogue line of Rihanna perfumes. Rogue came first, and then we had Rogue Love, and then we had Rogue Man. I don't know if I actually did the order right. Rogue Love might have come after Rogue Man. I can't remember. But Rogue was the first in this particular line. The reason it is close to last place is because I feel like this particular scent is polarizing. I feel like people will either love this scent or hate this scent. When I first smelled it, it was not love at first smelled. When I first smelled this fragrance, I sprayed it on the box. All I could smell was the suede note, which is a very leathery smell. I, as a woman, don't necessarily want to smell like just leather. So at first I wasn't too excited about wearing this. But when I tested it out on my skin, I had a different reaction to it. My skin emphasized different notes. It didn't completely cancel out the suede note, but it didn't make the suede note the only thing or the main thing you smelled. You definitely still smell it though. So the top notes in this are pink peppercorn, bergamot or bergamot, lemon blossom, and cyclamen. The heart notes are jasmine, rose, muguet, plum, and suede. And the base notes are sandalwood, vanilla, musk, patchouli, and amber. The theme with this perfume is that it's almost a unisex perfume, maybe more of a even masculine perfume. If a man wore this, if I smell this on a man, I would not think, oh, he's wearing a woman's perfume. I would think he was wearing a perfume made for men. So that is the kind of love-hate issue I think comes up with this perfume. I think women who like very girly scents would prefer Rogue Love over Rogue. Rogue Love has a fresh, sweet, almost a juicy couture smell. Rogue itself has more of a daring, bold, unisex, leathery smell. I've said this on my blog, I've said this on my Instagram a lot, but Rogue by Rihanna reminds me of a archaeologist or an archivist, mainly because of me smelling the suede note. Because of that suede leathery smell, it just makes me think of a woman who is around leather. So an archivist who's around leather bound books, or an archaeologist who wears leather all the time. But it still has feminine notes to it. So even though she has that leathery smell, she still has a feminine nature about her. She still has a feminine essence. So that's why Rogue makes me think of an archivist and an archaeologist. Someone who's still feminine, but has a daring or different way of carrying herself. But because of how divisive this perfume can be, that's why it's almost in last place. So the beautiful thing that I do like about this is the packaging. I like how simplistic it is. I again like the textured cap. I like the box. All of this is very masculine feeling as far as the presentation, but I do like it. It fits the perfume. It fits the way this perfume smells. So that was the only comment I have about the packaging, mainly that it fits the scent. The two go hand in hand. Okay, so in third place, you probably thought it was going to be Rebelle, and I thought it was going to be Rebelle because of how I had them lined up. But once I looked at the lineup, I was like, no, actually, Nude by Rihanna comes in third place. So the reason this comes in third place, again, it kind of got knocked down a bit by lasting power. Otherwise, I love this fragrance. The lasting power on this isn't horrible. It's just not as good as the perfumes that are in the top half of my ranking. But Nude by Rihanna is a beautiful, beautiful scent. And it lasts a decent amount of time. It's not as bad as Rogue Love. Rogue Love probably lasts no more than 2 hours on me. Rogue has good lasting power. It lasts about 4 hours on me. Nude by Rihanna, I think that one lasts more around 3 hours if I do one spray. But if I do 2 sprays on each pulse point, I can actually get it to last maybe 6 hours. But the thing with it lasting 6 hours is that by the second half, all I smell is like some sweetness. I don't smell it at its full composition. So Nude, the top notes are guava nectar, mandarin, and pear. The heart notes are orange blossom, gardenia, and jasmine sambac. The base notes are sandalwood, musk, vanilla, and orchid. So this is a floral, fruity scent. When I was reading the marketing for this, or the description of this, one of the things I remember, and I'm paraphrasing, is that this scent was marketed as, is supposed to give you the feeling of smelling fresh skin, or sweet skin, I guess. And I definitely think that it does smell that way. When I wore this last week, honestly, I could smell a bit of it for the full day, but by the end, I think all I could smell was maybe the mandarin and the pear, because by the end of the day, I felt like I just smelled like a fruity juice. Like, I got confused. I started asking my coworker, I was like, what is in your bottle? Is that some type of juice? Is that juice I'm smelling? And he frowns at me a little bit and he's like, it's water. And so then I'm like, well, I smell juice. I smell some type of juice, and it was making me thirsty. And I realized it was me. I smelled like pear and fruit juice, basically. So because of that, I kind of bumped this down a little bit as far as the lasting power, and the fact that I have to kind of work so hard to get it to last. It makes me not want to wear this frequently because I don't want to run out of it. I love the way it smells, and this perfume is actually hard to find because I think they're just phasing it out. So because I love the way it smells and the fact that I have to do 2 sprays to get it to work, I probably won't use it as much, because just off of the 2 times that I've worn it, I've gotten it down to this point. Now the packaging of this is very nice. It had to grow on me. At first I didn't like the upside down stiletto heel concept, because the concept is supposed to be that when it's upside down, it's like a stiletto heel. That wasn't really that amazing to me at first, but with time this has grown on me, mainly because I feel like if it were sitting out on my vanity, it would look very nice. The other thing I appreciate about the overall packaging is that you definitely have options. So you have this box that it comes in, nude box, no other colors beyond the black text. It's very simple, but you also have the option of showcasing Rihanna. So if you want to showcase Rihanna, you can just keep the box inside this slip cover. If you don't want to showcase Rihanna, you can just take the box away. Like I said, I'm a fan of Rihanna, so I don't mind the box having her picture, but I do appreciate that if I want to put the box on my vanity and I don't really want to make the perfume about Rihanna herself, I want to make it more about the perfume, I can just use the box without the slip cover. So that's the main thing about why this perfume is in 3rd place for me. It smells lovely. It smells like sweet skin when you first spray it. After a while, you don't really smell the skin aspect as much, in my opinion, at least not on me. By the end of the day, I think all you smell is the fruit. It just smells like fruit juice. But I do appreciate that it still smells interesting, because I have another perfume in my entire collection that smells like fruit juice, but it smells boring to me. This one still smells interesting. Even though it smells like fruit juice, it smells interesting. I guess because it's not that common for you to smell pear juice. Most of the time if you're smelling fruit juice, you're thinking of berries as your juice that you're going to smell on someone as far as their perfume. Berries are very popular in perfume. So this just kind of reflects how I feel about the entire line of perfumes by Rihanna. I just feel like she keeps it interesting. And this bottle with the packaging and the box is just kind of representative of how interesting she keeps things. In 2nd place, we have Rebelle. I only have the 1 ounce bottle. For the other ones, for the other perfumes in the Reb'l line are similar to the Reb'l line as far as the packaging. I have the 1.7 fluid ounce bottle. But for this one, I only have the 1 ounce bottle. At first, I didn't mind because I didn't like this perfume as much at first, so I didn't mind that I had the small bottle. And now I'm mad at myself because I've come to really love this perfume, and now I'm upset that I only have a small bottle. And I actually had an opportunity to get 2 small bottles, and I wish I had. I had this missed the opportunity because at first I was just kind of mad at this perfume. Let me tell you why I was mad at it. The reason I was mad at it is because the very first fragrance I smelled by Rihanna was this Reb'l Fleur, the body mist. I saw it at Walmart. I sprayed it on a scrunchie. I loved the smell. I walked around Walmart asking people to smell it to see if they loved it. Everybody who I forced this perfume on was like, oh wow, that smells good. And some of them were shocked that it was a Rihanna fragrance for some reason. But I loved Reb'l Fleur, and I wanted Reb'l Fleur so badly, and I could not find it. All I could find was Rebelle. So unfortunately, I mistreated Rebelle at first because I treated Rebelle like she was the stepsister or the half sister to the person that I preferred to interact with. So I didn't really take the time to appreciate Rebelle because I just always responded to Rebelle like, but you're not Rebel Fleur. But now that I have Rebel Fleur and I've had the chance to kind of calm down from my obsession, I've come back to smell Rebelle, and this fragrance is beautiful. It is the perfect sister to Rebel Fleur. Now that I think about it, they do come off like sister fragrances, but just like you have sisters who have similarities, these two perfumes also have differences that make them both special in their own way. So let me read the notes for Rebelle. Okay, so Rebelle, the top notes are strawberry, ginger, and plum. The heart notes are cacao, vanilla orchid, heliotrope, and coffee. And the base notes are patchouli, musk, and amber. The notes that make this really interesting for me are coffee and ginger and probably patchouli and definitely strawberry. So this perfume smells like a strawberry latte dessert. It smells like a gourmand fragrance, but it doesn't have just gourmand type notes in it. It has other notes. Like, I don't think patchouli is a note that you would think of as an edible note. And musk and amber, I don't think those are typically edible on their own. As far as the smell, they don't typically smell edible alone, but they do emphasize the edible smell of other notes, in my opinion. So the moment I fell in love with this perfume is the day that I finally got Rebel Fleur. I sprayed Rebel Fleur on a note card, and then I sprayed Rebelle on a note card. The note card that had Rebelle on it happened to end up laying closer to my bed after I got finished playing with the perfumes. I woke up in the morning and I was like, what is that smell? Something smells so good. And I realized it was this. The thing that's interesting about this is the coffee note makes me think of it as being kind of in the same family as Black Opium. Black Opium has a coffee note to it, but I feel like this one is a little more interesting than Black Opium. Black Opium is definitely a beautiful scent, but it's become a bit of a basic scent because it's become so popular. So I think of Rebel Fleur as the alternative if you really like Black Opium, but you hate the fact that if you wear it, you're likely to smell like at least half the other girls in the room. Then check out Rebelle. It has a coffee note, it has some sweetness to it and some muskiness to it, but it's a little more interesting, it's a little more different, definitely because of the ginger. Now the ginger note may be off-putting to some people. Some people don't like the spiciness or the sharpness that ginger can attribute to a perfume. I love spiciness. If a perfume has ginger, I'm more likely to be interested in it. So if you are like me and you love kind of like that spicy, interesting kick, then you'll want to check this out. If you're the type of person who's normally turned off by spiciness, then you won't like Rebelle. The other cool thing about Rebelle is that it lasts a decent amount. It definitely lasts probably the second longest of the perfumes in my collection of Rihanna perfumes. So again, I love this perfume, love the packaging. The box doesn't come with the option for having a picture of Rihanna, but that's cool. That's fine with me. It doesn't have to have a picture of Rihanna. And the only thing I hate about my particular bottle is that I have the small bottle. I now wish I had the bigger bottle, or I wish I at least had 2 of the 1 ounce bottles. But you live and you learn. So let's move on now to the next perfume, which is my first place perfume. You already know what it is at this point. Okay, last, definitely not least, finally we have Rebel Fleur by Rihanna, her very first fragrance. I absolutely love this perfume. I initially thought of it as a fall fragrance because sometimes it comes off a bit dark to me. And I didn't say this about Rebelle, but that one's definitely a fall fragrance. But I wore Rebel Fleur yesterday just because I was like, even though I kind of think of this as a fall fragrance, for some reason I just want to wear Rebel Fleur. I wore it yesterday and it was driving me crazy with how good it smelled and how good it smelled the whole day. All day I was smelling this and I was just like, this perfume has like everything that I love when it comes to Fragrances. Let me tell you the notes so you can get what I'm saying. Top notes are red berries, plum, and peach. Heart notes are Hawaiian hibiscus flower, violet, and I have to do a big intro or emphasis on this one, tuberose. It has tuberose. And then it also has coconut water in the heart notes. And then the base notes are vanilla, amber, and musk. To start with the base notes, I love vanilla. I love amber. Both of those are warm scents. Vanilla is sweet and thick, I guess. Vanilla has like that thick sweetness, but thick in the way that you think of like coffee cream, not thick in the way of thinking of something that's like super cloying. Amber has that warmth that makes it feel like it can almost make it feel like a fall fragrance, because when I think of warm vanilla, I think of the fall, because most of the time I'm putting warm vanilla in like my warm fall and winter drinks. The musk gives it that skin-like scent. So those are cool base notes. But those heart notes, specifically that tuberose, I think that is what is driving me crazy with this perfume. I love tuberose. My favorite perfume of all time, which is Gucci Bloom, has tuberose. Honestly, Reb'l Fleur is probably tied with Gucci Bloom as far as being my favorite perfume. When I wore this yesterday, I was intoxicated with myself. That's a weird way to feel about yourself because of a perfume. But when I was smelling this all day, I was like, I don't understand why everybody around me is not intoxicated with me right now, because I'm intoxicated with myself. That's how this perfume was making me feel. I was really feeling myself. And the lasting power on this, it lasted all day. It lasted for the full 8 hours I was at work. It lasted past the full 8 hours I was at work. I still smelled it when I came home. I could still smell the sweetness from the red berries, or maybe even the peach. I definitely smelled something sweet, but tuberose has a sweetness to it also. That's why it's my favorite flower as far as fragrances goes. But this perfume, I've just been so obsessed with it for the longest time. When I first had the particular fragrance, I had the body spray, like I mentioned to you before. Because it's a body spray, body sprays just don't last that long most of the time. But I was so determined to make this last as long as possible that I was tweaking the mess out of this. So what I would do was I would, do my normal shower in the morning thing. Most of the time I shower in the morning. But then for my lotion, instead of just using my regular Suave lotion that I use most of the time, whenever I wore Reb'l Fleur, I used my St. Ives lotion that has coconut in it, and it has, I think, orchid in it. But I would use that as the base to kind of hold on to this scent and make it last longer. After I rubbed the lotion in, I would then spray this, let it dry down, and then spray another layer. So doing that, I was able to get 4-hour performance from Reb'l Fleur, the fragrance body mist. So if you have the fragrance body mist and you're wanting it to last 4 hours, try that method out. Find you a lotion that has some notes to it that are similar to Reb'l Fleur. So it can either be a coconut lotion, or it could be straight up coconut oil. I've seen reviews where people said they've just rubbed coconut oil into their skin and then sprayed Reb'l Fleur on top, and it made it last all day according to them, and it emphasized the sweetness of the coconut. But whatever you want to emphasize, find you a lotion that has that scent. So say you want to emphasize the tuberose. If you can find a lotion that has tuberose, have at it and layer this on top of it. But that's how obsessed I was with it, that I had the body lotion and I was doing everything I could to make it last as long as possible. Because I could only get it to last for 4 hours, I started using the fragrance body mist as my nighttime scent. And wearing this as my nighttime bedtime scent was just driving me crazy, because I would just be in bed like, oh my goodness, I smell so good. Why do I smell so good? But once I finally was able to get this bottle, I was so excited. I saw it at Ross. I really responded to seeing it at Ross as if God had rewarded me. I've been having a really rough day that day, honestly. And I was kind of, I wouldn't say depressed, but just kind of down, I guess. Like, just wasn't feeling that excited that day. And I was praying. And I was just like, God, I've just been in a bad mood today. What can I do to improve my mood? Something said go by Ross. I went in Ross and I was like, they're not going to have anything that I like, because I go to Ross and TJ Maxx all the time. So I was like, I know what's in here because I was just in here like yesterday. But I went in there and they had this perfume, the Nude by Rihanna. Yeah, they had this perfume and Nude by Rihanna. I almost screamed. And I just was like, you know what? This day is amazing. This day has been amazing. And so I have this perfume. So grateful to finally have it. And I also got the miniature version. It came with it. It doesn't have a spray nozzle. It's just a, you take it off and you just kind of dab it on your fingers and then dab it on your body as far as like where you want to apply it. So that's cool for carrying it with me, but I probably won't ever use this perfume as a travel perfume because I love it too much and I don't want to risk the possibility of leaving it somewhere or breaking it or spilling it, because honestly this is really hard to find now, probably because in September they're coming out with Reb'l Fleur Love Always. I really want to check that sit out, but it will probably initially be outside of my price range because by the time September comes, school will have also started. I don't see myself having a lot of extra money to just go buy perfume. But that's all I have to say about these perfumes. Again, Reb'l Fleur is my favorite. I'm smelling it right now because I just opened that little bottle. It's so delicious. This is a very womanly fragrance, even a seductive fragrance. If I had a, I'm gonna stop rambling now. If you have any of Rihanna's perfumes, let me know which ones you love, which ones you don't love. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one. And if you like this video, go ahead and click the like button. And if you like the content I have presented so far, then go ahead and feel free to subscribe to my channel. Bye.